Hi, I'm Lanisha Robinson, your host for Career and Technical Education, #Build a Future. Working in St. Lucie Public Schools with Career and Technical Education, CTE, we want to show what our teachers and students are doing in the classroom to close the skills gap in multiple fields. The students in these programs are earning industry certification, which creates more opportunities and options for all students at their high school graduation. In this upcoming episode, you will meet Ms. Sarah Harris from Fort Pierce Westwood Academy and learn more about the Commercial Arts Academy Technology Program, which is a part of St. Lucie Public Schools. Hi, welcome. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Sarah Harris, the commercial art instructor at Fort Pierce Westwood Academy.
I'm Carmen Hernandez. I'm a student at Fort Pierce Westwood Academy.
I'm Elizabeth Rhea, a student at Westwood Academy.
Okay. So Ms. Harris, working with students at Fort Pierce Westwood Academy, please share your experience prior to or with the teaching experience that you have.
Well, right now I have 7 class periods of commercial art 1, 2, and 3. We do a variety of programs of the Adobe Creative Suite. We start with Photoshop, and then the second level is InDesign, which is our yearbook class. And then after that, if they come back for a third year, we go into whichever program that they decide that they want to go into, because there's 4 more that they can.
Okay. So in the end, what exactly is, if you were to give us like a creative picture of what exactly is commercial arts for our viewing audience?
So commercial art is a combination of your fine arts, of drawing and creating, and then taking it into the real world, commercializing it for web design, graphic design, any kind of marketing that goes along with it, running your own firm, working for somebody, any kind of advertising that would happen at that point also. So it's taking that whole traditional art side of it and just modernizing it for today's society.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, there's a lot that goes into it that obviously coming into and teaching a career and technical education program, then basically you have to have, excuse me, something from the real world coming, like your industry, coming from the industry, right? So can you share with us what your professional experience is coming from the industry?
So I initially had gone to college to be an art teacher, and I did that for a while. And I was always doing something on the side. There was always some kind of design hustle going on. In 2008, I left teaching and started my own design company. And from there, until I came back to teaching, I ran a design company out of my house, worked with international clients, and really just ran a whole graphic and web design firm on the Treasure Coast, and worked with people in Australia and in Europe and all over the United States as well.
Okay. So for students coming into this, going to Fort Pierce Westwood, and you're actually in the Commercial Arts Academy, what do you think why is this important to have this at the high school level?
Because it really gives students an opportunity to explore different kinds of things. I didn't think I wanted to try graphic design until I actually joined the class.
And that's another thing. It, like how she said, internships, if we start early, we get more experience. Also, we're certified at an earlier time, so we don't have to worry about that certification later on unless it expires.
Okay, so you all mentioned certifications. Can you explain to us what exactly are industry certifications?
So the certifications that we offer are every program, all the 6 of the Adobe programs, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Animate, Dreamweaver, and Premiere Pro. You can get certified in any one of those.
Okay.
And that gives you entry level, saying that you have the skills necessary to be able to proficiently use the program and work in the field.
Okay. Now, what certifications do you all have as students?
I have Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, and I forgot. I have a lot.
You have a lot of them?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have as many as her because I didn't know if I wanted to be in this. So right now I have Photoshop, and I'm working on InDesign, Animate, and Dreamweaver.
So there are many certifications that your students are able to take at the high school level. And you're saying that what can they do? So once they leave the high school and they have the intern certifications, what can they do once they leave and they graduate?
Any kind of design job they could work. If you have Premiere Pro, you can work in TV production. Photoshop will get you into pretty much any kind of graphic, Photoshop and Illustrator, any kind of design job, marketing, web design is Dreamweaver, animation, you've got your Animate program and Illustrator. So there's a lot that you can do with it. And then just having that on your resume sets you so far apart from anybody else that comes in, because then that proves that, oh, they're not just coming off the street and I'm going to have to now teach them how to do it. They already know. So
good. So I saw you nodding your head when she was saying that you could actually get entry-level positions.
Yeah.
Is this something that you're looking at doing once you leave high school?
What I remember was because of my certifications, when I did an internship over the summer, that internship that I was doing paired me with the St. Lucie County District Office to do media, the media department. And because I had all these certifications, they saw that this place was a perfect fit for me. That's how I know some of the things that happened. Not fully, but I kind of get the gist of it.
Okay, so you
That it
basically were an
works.
intern. What grade were you when you did that internship?
It was last year, so I was a
Last
junior.
Okay, so as a junior, you did an internship right here in the studios.
Yes.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so what about you? What would you like to do with your certifications once you're done?
That's the thing. I'm kind of thinking all about that. I want to learn more into graphic design, and if I can do an internship like her, then I would like that. But right now, I'm more focused on actually getting into college and learning more into that.
Okay, so you're kind of undecided right now, but you have so many opportunities because of your certification that you're earning that many doors will open because of that. All right, so going back to some of the hands-on skills that you all do, what can we expect? Let's say a student, a prospective student, or even a parent or guardians watching the show, and they're wondering, what can we see if we were to walk in your classroom on any given day? What will we see going on in your classroom?
So if it's a commercial art 1, which is the entry level, it's project based. So we start off, we do a little bit with cameras. We take our, the cameras that, we use on an everyday basis in basically all of the classes. And we start off with that. And then because as a photographer, you can't just be a photographer anymore. You have to know how to use Photoshop to edit your pictures, because there's really no more film. I mean, people still do film, but it's not industry standard anymore. So we start off there, and then we move into projects learning Photoshop. As you go throughout the year, they get harder, they get more in depth. We prepare for the exams. Level 2 class is InDesign and Yearbook, so that's a whole nother beast right there. And that has all the different pieces of a business. You have to run it like a business. So you have your marketing, you've got your design team, you have your editors, and it comes together, and people take leadership positions, and then there's other people that are the workers and the photographers, and it all comes together nicely most times. And and then the level 3 class is, what we did with it this year. Obviously this is the first year that I've had it, but I found a need in the school to have design work done. We were constantly getting asked, hey, can you design this for me? Hey, can you make me this flyer? I need this, I need that. So as part of the program also, we can earn Bright Futures. We'll touch on that later. You need volunteer hours. So we decided to make the West Prep Design Studio and market it to the school and actually outside people as well, and have all the design requests route through me, and then the third year students will go ahead and take care of it, and they work with clients and learn how to email and communicate with them, take constructive criticism, redo their work even though they thought it was great. The client didn't like it or had a suggestion, so you have to learn how to, do that process. And they've created, we've logged, I don't even know how many hours. A lot.
So countless hours,
A lot of
countless
hours,
opportunities.
yes.
And it's basically real world exposure, because people are coming to you, and that's what happens in the business world. Well, people come with you at last minute or even sometimes in advance saying, hey, I really need this done. What can you all do to help me out? So are you all involved with that program
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
Okay. So are you all involved with leadership or anything?
Leadership, like
with the program? Like I know Ms. Harris mentioned having student leaders.
Yeah.
And having those. Are you all involved in Yearbook or with
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So do you think that, or what are your feelings on being a part of that and actually being able to apply what you learn to real world application? What are your thoughts on that?
it's a lot of fun, and it actually has shown me that I really enjoy doing it as much as I do. And when it's not fun and it's getting stressful, I still remind myself that, yeah, this is pretty fun. I mean, this is the kind of torture that I want to put myself through because it's actually, it's enjoyable for me.
It's different for everyone. You get to learn what everyone likes. You get to debate on how you want a certain project to look. Like with the yearbook, we have different layouts, and not everyone's going to like one page, but they can just pick a different one, different pictures.
So you all are collaborating with one another. It's a team, essentially. Okay. So what's your favorite project? If you had to select one project, what was your favorite one?
I did a project for the second campus that we have, the MOA campus, for a podcast they were doing that was a Rat Pack radio. And I really liked enjoying that one. There was a lot of, back and forth with the person who asked me to do it and with her criticizing me all the time. But yeah, I understand that she's constructive
It was a
criticism.
constructive criticism, right? Because it was pushing it to really take on the characteristics of what they were asking for.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, no, that one was good.
All right. So one of the things that we wanted to capture was for our viewing audience actually to see what's going on in your classroom. So one of the things that we want to do is take you all to a video that was created by St. Lucie West Centennials High School, Mr. Alan Newton's class, and Jordan Rowe, his student. So Ms. Harris, one aspect I would like to bring everyone's attention to is I know visiting your classroom, there's plenty of diversity. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, there's a pretty equal number of boys and girls in the class. There's no, balance shifted one way or the other that, more girls take this or more boys are interested. Everybody's pretty interested, especially with, all the kids that want to be YouTube stars and they have YouTube channels and everything. It's pretty common that, I'll stand in the hallway and somebody will come up and be like, hey, can you teach me how to do Photoshop? Because I want to do this for this or something. And so it's, most of the students I have are fairly interested.
Okay. So I know you mentioned early on about the multiple classes that students are able to take. How many class courses do they need to take in order to actually complete the program?
3.
3?
Yep,
Okay.
there's 3 years.
Okay. Now with these classes, I know you had mentioned earlier on as well that these are basically like adult level, higher education level courses. So basically with that being said, we're going to talk about articulation agreements.
Okay.
Can you explain to us what exactly is articulation agreement?
So articulation
agreements?
Articulation agreements are between our school and IRSC, and the kids will earn 9 college credits and potentially Bright Futures scholarship at the Gold Seal level for 75% tuition paid with test scores and volunteer hours.
Okay. And I do know that with articulation agreement as well, just to add on to that, and which is good for you all, because I know you are mentioning college, looking at the next level. So you can actually use that basically the state of Florida, so which is good for you all. Are you all looking at college, or what would you like to do? Would you like to go directly into work, or would you like to go college first?
I know IRSC offers a work study with a graphic design. Somebody told me about it. And it's basically what I do now. People will come in asking for flyers and stuff like that. Like basically reach out to people and they'll assign to teams and stuff. So they'll let us actually work with people, handle constructive criticism, just basically that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because of that, the Bright Futures things she was telling us, we are actually trying to apply for that.
Okay.
So I'm looking into the IRC one for that while trying to maintain work as well.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Harris, do you have any future goals? Because they were talking about college, of taking like career exploration or college field trips or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. In the future, once we get the yearbook done, which is we're on a deadline right now, so that's another great thing is that they have to deal with deadlines. Potentially, we're going to take a trip to IRSC since we do have that articulation agreement. I did book Full Sail University to come in and do a presentation after spring break, so that kids can see that there are careers, there's a future in this, and to see all the possibilities that are available.
Okay. So I know one thing that you and we spoke with when we met, you were mentioning that there's organizations out there, not just on the campus, that's asking for you all to help with any special projects or promotional. So you mentioned that to me. Do you want to kind of elaborate that with us? You were talking about like it was like a, I believe like an army or a military branch, or they were trying to give back where they fly.
Okay. Yep. The one of the organizations that we're working with is in New York, and it's the Honor Flight. And the Orange County Superintendent up in New York contacted us, and actually, Carmen, you created it. Yep. So she did the letterhead for them, redid that, and then just recently did a golf tournament where they're going to host a golf tournament with all the proceeds going towards the Honor Flight as well. And so that was a whole flyer that she just created, and they keep coming back. And then we also recently, this company in Boston, a new startup company, C21, they contacted us, so we did their logo, flyer, website is in the process of being created.
Okay. All right. And what do you all think about that, having outside organizations come to you all and you're actually helping them with their stuff?
It's exciting to actually be working with companies and people way bigger than just Westwood school flyers that we usually are used to.
Okay. So are you all affiliated with any career and technical student organizations, or do you compete at the local or state level with your artwork?
The artwork, we enter artwork in the fair. Last year they had to create a digital category because we entered digital work, so that was the first time that they had that category. And then they have it again this year, which was exciting. And then the county art show, and next year we're going to shoot for the Scholastic art competition and probably the Drexel University art show.
Okay. All right. So as students, all right, what has this program done for you in order to apply to other courses or other classes you may take, whether it's at the high school level or even at the next level, higher education?
For our other classes, that is interesting. It depends, because with the classes, if a certain teacher wants us to do something for them, like take pictures or create a flyer, we can. We can also bring this into our after-school programs, like for our clubs, National Honor Society, or any sport. We can take pictures of our athletes, or we can also show other students if they didn't know about the program or something in the program. We can tell them, you can sign up for this, you can get certified in this, and possibly help them out also.
All right. So you want to add to that?
I did. I also feel like a lot of kids don't like to work in groups. It's anytime you assign a group project, it's a disaster, and it really is. It is. I don't want to work with that person, or however it is. And I feel like the kids that are in the second and third level and are forced to work in the groups that we use, and it helps them collaborate better, and it teaches them the skills on how to do it effectively.
Right.
So,
and which is important, because when they leave high school, they're going to have, whether they go to work or whether they go to the college level, whichever path they decide to take, they're going to have employability skills, those soft skills. So can you tell me some of the things that your students are gaining, those skills that they're gaining from your classroom, from your program, whether it's Yearbook, whether it's working in the with the what do you call it, the West Prep Club?
West Prep, yep.
Okay, so working with those programs, those different organizations out there, what kind of employability skills are they gaining from having that experience?
Well, definitely collaboration. They need to collaborate pretty much all day long. Communication, sending an email all lowercase, or and addressing it correctly. So their communication skills are definitely increasing as well. their group work, and really, I mean, they're just gaining just real world work experience just by being in the class.
Okay. So with that being said, are there, so I know you all kind of mentioned various career paths that you all would like to take. With some of your other students in your class, have you heard anything outside of what they've already mentioned of what they wanted to do in their future?
We have a lot of YouTube stars. They want to have YouTube channels and be influencers. Photographers, we've got a ton of people that take amazing pictures. Web design, definitely. Animation, you know, it goes across the board, and as they get exposed to more things, that opens up, you know, and they don't start really thinking about it until 11th or 12th grade. A lot of the 9th and 10th graders don't. It's still too soon for them. They have some passions, but they're just not sure how to put it all together yet.
Okay. So as students, all right, is there anything that you all want to point out? Let's say there's a student view and they're watching, it's like, hey, that sounds kind of interesting. Is there anything that you want to say, or how has this program actually had an impact on you personally?
Well, for me, in the beginning, I suffered with a lot of anxiety. I couldn't really talk to people, let alone shove a camera in their face and be like, hey, let me take a picture of you. But because I was in Yearbook, I had to like actually start doing that, starting to shove pictures, just cameras. But because of the fact that I had to do that almost every single day for the beginning of the year, I was able to like push up the courage to actually talk to people and to be, hey, can I take your picture? Is that all right? So yeah, that really helped me with dealing with that kind of stuff. Now I'm very outgoing and I'm very easy just to be like, oh, okay, I'm not even gonna ask, just let me take a picture of you.
It helps me pick out what career I wanted to do, because before I wasn't really sure. Like she said, passion. I had a passion for taking pictures, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And then being in the other programs, it helps me actually know, okay, this is actually a business. I can get into this maybe. And then it can also be a backup, like a hobby, if I want to pursue something else.
Okay. So one important aspect with career technical education, one of the purposes or the initiatives that we're doing is trying to fill those skills gaps that are out there in industry. Do you feel that there's a need for your students? Is there a need for the certification that you're offering? Is there a need in industry for commercial arts?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, pretty much every company, no matter if it's, you know, Fortune 500 or a little mom and pop, they need someone that can make ads for them, hard marketing materials, websites. I mean, you can't operate a business in today's world without a website. Marketing materials. I mean, it's absolutely a necessity.
So coming from the industry and then now teaching it, do you feel like, okay, hey, I've noticed that there's a need in this sector, or even as students, if they ask you, hey, what do you think about this? Do you feel like you can kind of help them out and kind of guide them because of that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and especially from working with and having all of the contacts that I do and working with all of the different clients, you know, there's a definite, you know, I can guide and push down different paths.
Okay. So as an educator now, do you feel like there's a need for career technical education
Oh,
overall?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? Why do you feel that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can go to college and you can still, you know, it's a pretty much a necessity as well to get at least a, you know, a degree from college, but to work in a field and to have that training, it's just going to push whatever you're doing that much further.
Okay. All right. So one of the things that as we prepare to close, all right, some of the things that I want to make sure we kind of reiterate is to make sure that everyone understands and has an awareness that how important this academy is. So as for students, why is it important to have career and technical education, have commercial arts on the, at not only Fort Pierce Westwood, but have that exposure? Because it's unique really for our whole district. Why is that important for you all?
It gives an opportunity to see what other jobs you can get besides like the regular, oh, I want to be maybe a teacher. I want to be a graphic designer now. I really opens your eyes to things like that.
Like her, how she was in the industry, like she had her business and she still does. She can also teach it to other people. And then if, like I said, it can also be a backup for something else that you want to pursue.
Okay. And so once again, how many credit hours are students able to earn basically if they want to go to the college level? Because remember, there's 2 tracks. So they want to go to college level. How many credits can they earn? statewide?
9 credits.
9 credits.
Mhm.
All right. And then that can go anywhere in the state of Florida with those 9 college credits. All right. So not only that, all right, we also talked about inter-certifications. How many total certifications can they earn just by this one academy alone?
You can get 6.
Okay. All right. And then also you all mentioned, we talked about employability skills, soft skills. All right. And that's important as well. So as we close, is there anything else that you all would like to add or say?
No.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm Ladisha Robinson, and this is Career and Technical Education, #Build a Future. We encourage you to view our St. Lucie Public Schools Career and Technical Education page. In Career and Technical Education, we are merging the career pathways pipeline for each of our students. We are building a future and continuing to close the skills gap. On behalf of the station's team, I'd like to thank you for joining us today.